Hey everybody, welcome to Zipmouth Motivation Podcast, where we highlight everyone. Oh, something happening. But where we highlight, it's always some kind of technical difficulties, but where we highlight everyone. So we highlight people who have a motivational story, not only a motivational story, but also businesses and things like that. So I'm excited always when I have a guest because then that means I ain't got to just talk to the screen, hoping somebody listening. I can really be talking to somebody. I can really be talking to somebody. So I'm going to bring my guest up, and her name is Paula.
Hey,
Hey, Paula, welcome to the show, sweetheart. Thank you for coming on. Thank you
thank
for
you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, like I said, I ain't got to talk to myself today. I can talk to somebody. So that's always exciting. So tell the people a little bit about you, your name, what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Paola Rodriguez. I'm the owner of Rodriguez Wealth Group. And what I do is I start people on their journey to financial freedom. And so I start them off with building a really strong foundation of having health insurance and life insurance protection. And then we move on to helping them reach their financial goals and eventually become financially free and live the life of their dreams so they can focus on living a great life and taking care of their families and traveling and doing all the things that they love to do and create freedom in their life. So, really, really passionate about what I do. I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been in the financial service industry. I've been independent on my own for 3 years and
Right,
really passionate about helping people and helping specifically entrepreneurs, really people that work in service-based businesses. And
right,
they've been in business at least 2 to 3 years. They have about five or so plus employees, and so that's really the niche that I'm able to serve the best. And typically, they're tired of paying a lot of money in taxes, and they really want to have strategies in order to build wealth. And yeah, I love what I do, and I'm excited to be here with you and talk about motivation. And it's something that has been very key for me in being self-employed and surviving. Being self-employed through all these crazy changes that have been going on.
right.
And so yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that is really exciting because everybody, I'm sure, want to hear about some financial freedom, especially with the way things have been going lately. So, what is like the beginning process for you, or what do you think the beginning process is for establishing financial freedom?
Yes, thank you for asking because that's the most important. Um, the main thing is to be committed to starting on the journey and being really deciding to make a change. A lot of people are out here, they don't have budgets. I feel like budgets is a bad word for people. So really, the first thing is having that mindset and making the decision like, hey, it's time right now. I want to get started. And then the next thing is creating a budget if you don't have one already, and putting that together. That's the first step, and really analyzing where you're at, because really we can't really evaluate and establish a plan until we know where you're at, right?
Right. And I know that's probably hard because a lot of people be like, I don't want nobody in my business.
Yeah, I'm actually really good at getting people to tell me their business.
Right.
It's so funny. My boyfriend was in the room, like he kind of like walked in on me having a conversation on the phone, and he's like, "Okay, I gotta get out of here," because we were talking about prescriptions, we were talking about all these things, and obviously those things are confidential, and so he shouldn't be in the room when I'm having those conversations, but it's I have because I'm coming from a place of really wanting to help people. I feel like people can really feel that, and they understand like that I'm an expert, that I've been doing this a long time, that I've helped a lot of people through this same process. So there's definitely a lot of trust that's involved with having someone like me kind of be in people's business, but it's also they understand how important it is, and they a lot of times they've seen me on like Instagram. Maybe they know me. A lot of my business comes from referrals, so they already know that I'm a trusted trusted source for helping them in their journey.
That's excellent. If, like, say I came to you and I gave you all my business, so I done told you everything, I done laid it out, and I say to you, how long is it going to take me to be financially free? Because I know that's one of the questions.
Yeah, so that is sometimes a way longer process than what people expect. A lot of times it is a longer process. The great thing is time is often on our side. I help usually people in their 30s and 40s, and so it's a matter of setting the disciplines and making the adjustments and being disciplined so that we get to that goal sooner rather than later. A lot of people, they don't even, they think they're going to work forever. And so it does take a lot longer than what most people think. And I do wish people would get started sooner a lot of the times rather than, waiting. But yeah, a lot of people, sometimes people think like, oh, if I don't address this problem, it's going to go away, but it's not. It's always going to be there, right? And the sooner that you start, the sooner that you do something about it, the better. But it really depends on your goals. Some things to really keep into account are how much is your monthly spend. So someone that's spending only $3,000 a month on their living situation is going to have a way shorter time than someone that's spending $8,000 a month. So it really depends on their lifestyle, and a lot. You'd be surprised how many people are spending $8,000 a month just to live. There's a lot of my clients, a lot of people that I talk to that's their bare minimum that they have to hit in order to live the life that they
want to live. Wow, that's a lot. $8,000 a month. I'm pretty close, but I ain't that close. So, but wow. So with them finding the financial freedom, you're helping them establish that thing. Are you setting them up with goals, or do they have their own goals that they need to come with?
Yeah. I'm asking them what their goals are. So everyone has different ones. I ask a lot of questions to start out with. So I ask them, where are they at? Where do they want to be? By when do they want to be there? And then based on where they are and how aggressive we can be, then I can let them know, okay, this is realistic, or hey, if this is not realistic, we need to push back that timeline that you're thinking about.
So are you with them like every step of the way? Like, do you have like a monthly meeting, a weekly meeting, or is it based upon what that person's needs are?
Yes, it's based on the person's needs. Great question. It's based on the person's needs. A lot of times to start off, we meet a little bit more frequently, so like bi-weekly. And then as we get everything situated, everything is kind of rolling, and we're being disciplined and accountable, then I will meet with them every quarter. Typically if everything is really all set in stone, I just need to talk to them every 6 months. But yeah, it really depends on where we're at in the stage and how we're working with the plan. Some people need a little bit more hand holding than others. But yeah, it's a neat process. I'm kind of like a financial personal trainer. So, getting people right.
Right. I like that. I like that because we all need a financial personal trainer with a personal trainer, but definitely that. So, does their income have to be at a certain level when they come? Like, do you need them to have like a large amount of money in their savings account or in their checking account? Or can they come to you and say, listen, I need to be financially free. This is what I have. I have no money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Do you help at that process as well?
So typically the people that are coming to me, they have some type of assets built, like whether it be they own a home or they have a business. It doesn't really matter what level they're at. The main thing that matters is that they have some type of disposable income, right? If someone is coming to me and they're like, hey, my expenses are 10,000 and I only make 8,000, I really can't help them, right? Usually I can help if there's some room in the budget in order to push ahead and work towards that. Otherwise, I really can't help them build wealth if they're putting themselves in debt every month. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. That's why I asked that question. So, you said you mainly focus on entrepreneurs. So, do you help at the beginning of the, like, if I have a business plan, I have everything, and I have somewhat of a budget, but I just don't know, like, I want to make sure my funds are going in the proper places. Do you assist
Yeah.
at that stage?
So I always like to have like an initial call with people and really understand what their situation is and where they're at, and then evaluate whether or not it makes sense to work together. There are some people I sit down with them and I tell them, hey, this is what you need to do. In 3 months, reach out. Let's see if we can work together. And then there's some people that I can help right away. But I always like to talk to them, really get a sense of like where they're at. If I'm not able to help them, a lot of times I have other resources that I can connect them to. So I have, people that are not ready yet to speak with me. I can get them onto a different money coach. Different people have different needs. So yeah, it's always helpful to talk to people, establish that relationship. And I can understand pretty quickly whether or not I can help them or not, and then plug them into resources or give them tools in order to get to a level where they want to be. And you brought up a good question before. So you were asking me like, what people can I not help? And those are, people that are unfortunately in debt, like people that have, they're are in debt settlements and things like that. Unfortunately, once things are not in a good position, once they're like kind of facing bankruptcy, I do have a client that's a bankruptcy attorney that can consult people in those type of situations. So I can help them get connected to resources. But I can't bring them on as a client, unfortunately. So I hope that helps.
No, that really helps, because I want people to understand like what like what you're bringing, what you're offering them. So as a money coach within entrepreneurship, a lot of people don't know they don't know finances, they don't know QuickBooks, or they don't know a bunch of different things that they don't know. Like, do you support them in those resources, learning them or providing those tools for them?
Yes. I am a big fan, a proponent of not doing everything yourself. And so for me, things like bookkeeping, if we're able to be in a situation where you can allow somebody else to take care of that for them, typically I will, instruct them to do that. If they have to do it themselves, if they're just starting out, there's really great resources like QuickBooks Self-Employed, where you literally use an app and you can go in and do that. And so, yes, I will walk people through different tools and things that they need. I'm not going to go into a deep dive and go through it all with them, but I'll let them know, hey, this is something that you can use that's going to be helpful. And then because a lot of the times we need the data from those from QuickBooks, from their accounting software, in order to see, okay, where are you? What are your expenses? Where is there opportunity for decreasing your expenses? What are you doing in revenue, and what are the trends that you're having, and what are the goals that we need to set for you and your business in terms of income levels? And so yeah, we go through those different tools and stuff to help them.
Understood. What would you say, because I know you said discipline. So I know that discipline is a big thing, especially when you're being an entrepreneur or when you're just trying to become financially free. Yeah. How would you say, how hard is it for people to get into the rhythm of being disciplined, to being disciplined, and what is your motivational technique to get them in that position?
Yeah. So typically when people talk to me, they're already in a situation where they're like, hey, I need to make a change, right? Like they're in a situation where they're like sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they're like, ready to make a change. And so I typically am not the catalyst of that. I just keep them, motivated. And I do that by reminding them of why we're there. So why we're, what our goals are and why, keeping that front of mind to them. But the it's difficult. It's difficult because life happens, and it's just like going back to the analogy of the personal trainer, right? So when you're doing personal training, like, I want to say 20% of what you do is what you actually do at the gym. And then all of the other stuff, like the eating and the other habits and stuff is something that you do day to day. And it's the same thing, right? So people need to stay disciplined, and it's tough. But I find that if they have a strong why of why they're doing it, then they're going to stay true to that. And they have, they're committed. Sometimes I'll ask people, hey, on a scale from 1 to 10, how committed are you to making this change? And with certain plans, if they are very extensive, if the person's not out of 10, I tell them, okay, well, let me know whenever you're out of 10, and then we'll take it from there. And they're like, whoa, hold on. And so then we'll move forward. But the person has to be very, very invested in being disciplined and wanting to make that change. Now, is it all going to be perfect? No. Things are going to happen, right? Things in business, unexpected expenses, a machine goes down and you have to, buy another machine in order for you to do, continue doing business. And that, life is going to come with setbacks all the time, a loved one getting sick, or, problems at home, or, things are going to happen that are going to influence your business, your life. But it's just a matter of like sticking true and saying, okay, I'm on a path. I have a reason why I'm doing it, and just doing the best that you can with every situation every day.
I love that. Like, I do love that, because you put the accountability back on them. Basically, like, if you really want this, I can get you there, but you have to really want it in order to get there. Because sometimes people think, when they think about finances, they only think about living good, like living, like living lavish, and they
yes, yes.
Yeah. Lavish life took commitment, like that lavish life took a lot of action, a lot of saving, a lot of putting back, and a lot of understanding what money is and what money can do for you in reality.
Yeah.
What would you say your success rate is with your clients?
So that is hard to tell, because we are in the process with all of my clients. So we have not, with any of my clients, that we haven't yet said, okay, now you're financially free, because it takes years. And so I've been doing this for, helping people with the money aspect of things for about a year now, a little bit less than a year. And so we haven't had all that time to bring, that to fruition. But what I will say is I have a lot of great testimonials from people that I've been able to help, that rant and rave about me and tell other people about me. And so it is, I would say, we got a lot of good 5-star ratings on Google. I think we were like up to 76 or something last time I checked. So doing good in terms of customer satisfaction and getting people in the right track. Now, in terms of like actually people becoming financially free, it is yet to come. It's not if, it's when our clients are going to be financially free.
No, I definitely respect that, because the honesty is, when you're working with someone and you're looking for someone to support you like a money coach, you want them to be honest about what they do and what they can establish for you. Like you saying, it's about them, giving that accountability back to them, but also you're there to motivate. That's powerful, in itself. But then at the same time, you said, like, it takes years. And it does. It does not happen overnight. I know sometimes people expect for them to be financially free overnight, but it does not happen overnight, because you got to. It's almost like, like your analogy about the physical trainer. Like, you can go to the physical trainer, you got a big stomach, and you think that stomach gonna go away like overnight. You be wishing it do, But it takes a little minute because it took a little minute for you to gain it. Like it took a minute for you to gain that debt. So now it takes a process for you to get to the next step, you know? Um,
Correct. Correct. And it also, with all that, it's about like doing the day-to-day stuff that you need in order to, stay accountable. So it's really about being disciplined, but also, I need my clients to be very transparent with me. I need them to, tell me the truth. And the way that I can keep a good relationship with them is for me to also be very transparent. And I'll share stuff with my clients. I've walked people through my own life insurance policies and all this stuff because it's, if they see that I'm doing something, I'm walking the walk, and then they're like, okay, I can trust this person telling me what to do because they're doing the same thing. They're investing in the same ways in their retirement and so yeah, transparency is very, very important because if there's certain things I don't know about, like certain debts and stuff, that can really derail the plan and not and set somebody back. So yeah, transparency, trust is very important.
Right, right. So you took me into the next question because I wanted to highlight life insurance a little bit because I think this is an important aspect. And it just seems to me like sometime in the Black and Brown communities, we don't know how important this is, but we also don't know the benefit of what life insurance is.
Yeah.
But could you share a little bit?
Yeah, so it's funny you bring that up. So I was born in Dominican Republic, and all my family is from Dominican Republic, and I'm the whitest person in my family, believe it or not. And it's a lot of Hispanic people don't see value in insurance to the point where at the beginning of my career, I was like, I don't even want to speak to Spanish people. Like, I don't even want because they're like, oh, they don't see value. They're like, oh, it's a scam, blah, 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 this and that. And now I'm like, no, I really need to educate my community and make sure that they understand because white people have been doing this for a long time. There's literally a book that I have. It's called What Would the Rockefellers Do? And so these people have been using life insurance in order to build wealth for 100+ years. And so it's a tool that we need to be aware of in order for it to help us in the same way, right? And so I'm very lucky where I was raised in a household where we really valued education, and it was not if you're going to go to college, it's when you're going to go to college, and you're going to pay for college on your own, and you're going to get ahead, and you're going to be better than we were. My grandmother's illiterate. She doesn't know how to read or write. And so my mom has a degree in computer science, and now I'm an entrepreneur and I'm elevating the family, and legacy is a big part of who we are like as a family. And so I've been extremely blessed. Like this, my privilege has been my family, because even though we come from the third world, the mindset has just been always be better, put our people better than how I was able to do it. So that's been very, very beautiful to see. And it is, life insurance is a tool to help people elevate their families as well. So, we want to leave our family way better than what, than when we started, right? When we came into this earth. And so life insurance is utilized to do that. So the really cool thing is we're able to use life insurance while we're still living. And then there's still some left over a lot of the times in order to take care of the family afterwards. So if, in my plan, I have a life insurance policy that's going to allow me to draw money from that when I retire. And then whenever I pass away, that life insurance is still going to have plenty, multiple six figures in it in order to pass that down into next generations. Now, hopefully, right, that's the bare minimum, but hopefully I will create, no, let me not say hopefully. Let me say I will create a legacy where my family will be exponentially better than when, where I was born, in Dominican Republic. It's awesome to think of like where we started and like where we're going now. And so to answer your question, that's a very long drawn out way to say life insurance helps us with, we can utilize it as a tool to be able to get tax-free retirement money, but it really is a tool in order to help our family when we leave, because eventually when we leave, to leave them in a better spot than where they were before.
And that's beautiful. How would you, because it's so many different branches of life insurance, I know we don't have a lot of time to tell about it all, but what would you say, like, because I know sometimes people think that life insurance is really, really expensive. But if they wanted a good plan that they could borrow off of, or they could have it for retirement and still be able to, like when they pass on, their family will still be able to survive. What would you say a monthly or yearly payment would be for that?
Great question. So I typically tell people that their age times 10 is what the monthly investment should be. So if someone's in their 30s, they should invest about $300 a month. Now, putting some money into savings and stuff is important. And there's all these different tools to do that. So life insurance doesn't have to be the only tool that you put your money into. Real estate, there's other secure investments. I have a Roth. So it really depends on the person, their risk adversity, how risk averse they are, and what their goals are, what it makes sense to invest money into. So life insurance I never recommend that to be the only thing people are putting money into. It's not very smart to do that. They should be diversifying their money and putting money in different buckets in order to, have security and also leverage the market. But it is, life insurance is a really great tool, but there's also all these other tools that people can use depending on their situation and, what their goals are.
Beautiful. And see, that's why you're the money coach, because you would be able to support and let people know, like, these are a bunch of different things that, because there are like thousands of things, like I'm learning. I'm not a money coach, but I want to learn how to place my money properly where where it could, I don't have to live off of it. I could live in a box car, you know what I'm saying? But my kids, they want to live lavish. So I want them to have that ability to live lavish. This computer acting crazy.
Oh.
But I want them to have that ability to live lavish, So definitely I appreciate you for sharing that, because the people should get in contact with you, just to see if, you guys can work well together and be able to support them in whatever needs that they need financially. Because some people don't want to own a business. I'm learning a lot of people want to own a business. But I'm also learning, because like I do business coaching and mindset coaching, but I'm also learning sometimes when they come for mindset coaching, they discover that they want to own a business. So it goes. So when they come to you for financial coaching, they may say, "Oh, well, wait a minute. I saved enough money to be able to own a business," which is, which is a powerful thing. Yeah. So definitely that. But
yeah, definitely. And I definitely encourage people to become business owners. It's not the easiest way to, live your life, but it is definitely been very rewarding. A lot of my friends are business owners, and it makes a really big difference in terms of your ability to build wealth. And so, yeah, I mean, it's all up to, everyone's different. So everyone has their different situations. And so it's just up to us to support them in whatever way we can, or up to us to let them live their life until they're ready to make the commitment and to have us help them. But yeah, thank you for for this, and coaching and business coaching and mindset coaching are so important. So I commend you for doing that, and for helping people, because they really need it, and it's something that's very valuable. So so you're muted. I don't know if you were trying to say anything there. I don't know if we lost you. Oh, there. Oh.
I think I'm back. Uh-oh.
It's like going like mute, unmute. Okay, there you go. Oh, mute, unmute.
Okay.
Well,
This thing is. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good now.
Okay, so I appreciate you for coming on the show. Could you share with the people your information, so if they want to reach out to you, they have that ability?
For sure. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the best way to get in contact with me would be Instagram. So I am at The Powerful Paola. So The Powerful Paola is my Instagram handle. You can also email me, paola@ourwealthgroup.com. So paola@ourwealthgroup.com. And yeah, my office, our phone number, if you want to call and set an appointment, or if you just have questions and you want to text us, our phone number is 813-761-2836. So that's 813-761-2836. And again, you can text us or you can call us. You'll probably reach my assistant, JV, and he's super helpful. And, we can get your wealth building journey started if it makes sense for us to help you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I appreciate you for coming on the show.
Yeah. I appreciate you for having me.
Yes, thank you. We got you on here. I know last time I think I had some kind of emergency. I can't remember. I think it was so. So definitely I appreciate you for coming on the show, and hopefully everybody reaches out to you. I always tell people to say something positive, motivational before they go. So what would you like to share with the people? Just something to take them to the next minute or hour.
This. Yes. So my favorite quote of all time is by Stephen Prefontaine. He was a runner, and his quote was, "To do anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift." So always do your best. Don't sacrifice the gift that you've been given to, be your very best every day. And that is my motivational quote for today.
Thank you. So I really like that one. I love that one. I actually that was beautiful. Well, everybody, thank you, Ms. Paula, for coming on the show. Y'all reach out to her. When I post the podcast, then I'm going to tag her, so y'all be able to see her tag in there and be able to at least reach out to her on Instagram. But it is definitely time to be financially free. So I'm excited that she came on here. If you're an entrepreneur and you're having a struggle with being financially free, she is here to support you and help get you to that next level, which is very important, and then share other information with you. So thank you, everybody. And I appreciate everybody for staying on with all the technical difficulties.
No worries, no worries. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I'm excited to see everything posted on the podcast.
Yes, you'll see it in a couple of hours. I'm trying to get better. Yes, you'll be able to share it. And then I'll too, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on the show. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.